we saw something we have never seen before. Clayton Kershaw started a game and did not pick up a strikeout. Hey, this is Mike Nelson of Dodgers Digest. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. 97% of you have not yet subscribed. I want to thank the 2% of you that have already subscribed. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any big Dodger news and Dodger content. So let's get right into it. Clayton Kershaw, his first regular season start with no strikeouts. He exited the game without picking up one strikeout. This is the first time, the caveat with this statistic is that Clayton Kershaw did start a playoff game and did not pick up a strikeout. And that's the last playoff game that he pitched in, the 2023 NLDS Game 1 start against the Arizona D-backs. Of course, the start that he didn't leave the first inning, couldn't get out of the first inning. In that start, he did not pick up a strikeout. So now this is another pitching start that Clayton Kershaw does not pick up a strikeout. And as he mentioned after the game, he's got to pitch better. This is now 2 of the last 3 starts for Clayton Kershaw where he does not pick up a strikeout. Just some concerning, very concerning out of Dodger land for sure. Very concerning to watch the aging Kershaw out there on the mound. We're gonna get into that right here in this video, get into more detail on what went wrong. But just pretty concerning, going back to just a disastrous playoff performance against an inferior Arizona D-backs team. And let's face it, the D-backs were not supposed to sweep the Dodgers. And Clayton Kershaw just was not the pitcher the Dodgers needed in that Game 1. That was the last time we saw Kershaw for almost a year. Of course, had his off-season surgery and was unable to, suit up for the beginning of the season. And we didn't really get a chance to see Kershaw until last week when he got a chance to pitch against the San Francisco Giants. Now this is the second start that he had in 2024, and it was a complete disaster, to say the least. Just a complete disaster for sure. The Dodgers, of course, end up losing this game 8-1. Leaves the game, only gets charged with 3 runs due to the error from Gavin Lux and his own error. But still a disastrous start. A start where surprisingly he only walked 1 batter, but he did give up 6 hits, and just had to leave the game, as we know, in the 4th inning, a game that the Dodgers were basically unable to come back and down 7-1 at that point. So let's get some post-game reaction first from Clayton Kershaw and see what he said to reporters after the game.
Yeah, not very good. Just not a lot that went well at all. So, just got to pitch better.
When you think about just there were times when you were kind of getting ahead of guys, but did you feel like you were kind of missing that put him away pitch tonight?
There was a lot of things I was missing. Just wasn't executing, wasn't throwing really anything what I wanted to, where I wanted to. So, frustrating overall. But we'll just get back out on the next one.
Is there rust that you've had to work through these first 2 back, or just kind of how you felt coming off of the rehab?
I mean, physically good. Physically, I feel fine. I just think, honestly, I felt pretty good with the last one, overall, but this one, obviously, this was really bad. So, I didn't think there was rust, but yeah, maybe, I don't know. Just gotta pitch better.
Just a matter of picture. Can't expect to take some big name back for you.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Just need to pitch better. Sometimes it happens. You just gotta, there's a lot you can overanalyze when you pitch bad, but for right now, I'm just gonna say it was bad and try to pitch better the next one.
Clayton, in the second inning, did you feel like the Kim walk hurt you just as much as, whatever subsequent took place with Johnson and Campusano?
Well, I mean, I got to make that play. That was an easy out at home right there. The ball was right back to me. So I have to, make that play. The inning's a lot different. So that's on me. That was super easy. That was a super frustrating mistake there. But, obviously walking people's not fun. And, you just give up a first pitch hit. That's no big deal. But, walking, I got to get the guy in scoring position. It's not.
So Clayton Kershaw there speaking to reporters after the game. That comes courtesy of DodgerBlue.com. Clayton Kershaw, we've seen this before. Just like he mentioned to reporters, just didn't execute. I thought it was interesting when he was asked if he felt any rust, and he said he's not really sure. He said that he feels pretty good, and he doesn't feel any rust. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just really concerned as a Dodger fan to be watching Clayton Kershaw at his age, trying to go out there, trying to be an ace pitcher when he clearly isn't. He clearly is at a point now in his career where things are just not where he wants it to be. I mean, I think it's more than obvious. What we're seeing from Clayton Kershaw is clearly a decline in his pitching. Just a complete disaster in this disastrous game. What exactly went wrong for Clayton Kershaw in this game? Well, just everything went wrong, basically, including a huge error where Clayton Kershaw basically had to just toss it to Will Smith to prevent a run from scoring, and basically Bryce Johnson was able to reach base there. Just a like I mentioned, very very bad start for Clayton Kershaw, and it just goes back to the same point on why the Dodgers decided to bring in Clayton Kershaw back after the disastrous performance last year in the playoffs. It goes back to that same point. Why did the Dodgers decide to sign him to a 2-year contract with a player option for his second year? Just decisions that the front office makes that I think a lot of the fans out there are now starting to question. Let's get into Dave Roberts, see what he had to say. The much maligned Dave Roberts, as we know, from the fan base. Let's get into what Dave Roberts had to say after the game.
I don't know what led to it. Certainly, it wasn't ideal, to say the least. I think just the command wasn't there. I think that they were on some sliders, took some good swings on the sliders, but they just weren't as. It wasn't as effective as it was his last start. I thought the curveball still played, got some soft contact, some easy outs. Fastball life, I think the third inning was much better than the other 3 innings. It just wasn't great, and we didn't help ourselves defensively. He didn't help himself defensively. Certainly that bled into the efficiency and added base runners and things like that. So, we just couldn't get him through that 5th inning, because of the pitch count.
And you look at just
Dave Roberts there, courtesy of Spectrum Sportsnet, LA, speaking to reporters after the Dodgers lose to the Padres 8-1 in Petco Park, getting swept by San Diego. Basically, Dave Roberts mentioned that the command wasn't there. The defense, of course, wasn't a help for Kershaw. But he said it like he said that the curveball, he was impressed with the curveball. But I have to agree with him. I did think the curveball was pretty good for Kershaw. But let's get into the fastball. I mean, we got some numbers here from Dodger Nation here that provided some numbers here from the report from this tonight's game. His fastball was averaging 89.6 miles an hour, which is concerning. Basically a full mile per hour less than the Giants game, which was literally less than a week ago. So just like it mentions here in the article, we have no idea where this is going to go in the future. I mean, is it going to keep continually getting slower and slower for Kershaw, his fastball? And that's what I think everybody has to really think about. I mean, is Kershaw really going to be able to be a pitcher that you can rely on in a big matchup like this one and against the San Diego Padres? Now the Dodgers have lost that season series. This is the first time in 13 years that the Dodgers don't win the season series against San Diego in the regular season. Hopefully that doesn't come back to really bite them, because as we know, there's no more playing game. There's no more tiebreaker game, I should say. No more tiebreaker games in Major League Baseball. If you finish tied at the end of the season, the season series is the one that decides who wins the division, or who goes to the playoffs. And in this case, if the Dodgers and San Diego end up tied at the end of the season, San Diego is going to get that opportunity to jump in. But just a really bad performance from Kershaw today. And I really think it was a mistake to sign Kershaw and bring him back for a 2-year contract, especially after last year's performance. Probably the worst Dodger playoff start in Dodger history, and that's saying a lot because the Dodgers have had, so many great pitchers, and Kershaw last year had the worst start in Dodger history, basically as a starting pitcher. And to bring him back on a 2-year, $50 million contract just seems absurd at this point. And after tonight's game, I think the Dodgers are going to have some serious questions on why they decided to do that. Make sure to subscribe to Dodgers Digest for more Dodger content.